Just gotta say hi again. Hi, everybody. Well, I didn't have sound on here. We're talking about toxic cycles and how to identify if you're in a toxic cycle.
Yeah. So just quickly, we have a company called the Freedom Alchemist.
Kate Austin,
Paul Green.
Freedom Alchemist.
We are the Freedom
That's
Alchemist.
right. And a Freedom Alchemist is somebody who converts something like, say, water to wine, or
that was Jesus that did that one. So he was an alchemist. But basically someone that converts something from one value to a higher value.
That's an alchemist.
And as Freedom Alchemists, we're here to help you transform your pain into your purpose.
Yes, or something from your past into your power.
And creating freedom.
Yeah,
freedom
baby.
Along the way.
Yeah,
freedom,
baby.
grace, and ease. Woo!
Yeah, baby.
So what we're talking about today is
toxic
something
cycles.
We're very passionate about, which is toxic cycles.
Yeah.
And
understanding when you're in one.
Yes. And
it's a blind spot. I'm going to interrupt you. It's a blind spot. Not everybody knows that they're in one. So sometimes identifying it is half the battle. That you're actually stuck in one. And what it is when you continually do something that you know is bad for you, but it feels good in the moment. So a great example of that is smoking, right? Everybody knows people, if you smoke, it is bad for you. But people convince themselves, oh, it's stress relief. It's how I take a deep breath. It's, they convince themselves that it's good for them in some way. So that's toxic. Same with if you're stressed, you eat in order to not feel stressed, but you're going to pay for it later. It's not just an easy thing. So when something bad for you feels good in that moment, that's when you're locked into a toxic cycle. And so what we want to talk about is ways in which to disrupt that. And the topic that we really wanted to dive into, that I think is so important, that we've seen over and over the years of what people get stuck in, is this end of the year slump, right? Everybody's like, oh, I didn't quite hit on my goals and my dreams. I didn't do that. I'm forget about it. I'll just start again January 1st. I'll start again next year. Next year I'll take care of myself. Next year I'll look after all the things, right? And we have several months left of the year to make, your entire life could change in the most profound, beautiful way if you committed to it for the next few months. So we want to break the toxic cycle of this community agreement. I'm like, oh, forget about it. And then just let's just enjoy the holidays and party and drink more and eat more. And I'll just put on an extra 10, 15 pounds. But don't worry, I'll start fresh on January 1st. And here's the thing, guys. Then you're starting the year on this deficit where you're already not feeling good, but you're ready to go because the whole, there's a societal belief that, hey, it's a fresh start. You can really make things happen. And we will utilize that and use that. But why not use that starting from a place of power? Because if you're starting the new year from a feeling really good in your body, ready to take the year on, then all of your other dreams and aspirations are so much more accessible. But if you're starting overweight, unhealthy, feeling groggy, feeling crappy because you've just blown out the last few months, then why do you think your New Year's resolutions are not working? And so many people, they have all the best intentions in the world to really turn a new leaf in the new year, but then they toxify themselves in the months leading up for it and wonder why it's so hard, and then give up on themselves within the first few weeks or maximum a month on the new year. Yeah.
And then the year goes into a blur, and you're like, another year, I'm just a year older. The whole humdrum of what we've bought into is okay.
Well, and so much of what happens to us in life, we're an autopilot, right? We're not consciously in the driver's seat of our lives. We're reacting to other people's demands on our schedules. We're often trying to fix something from the past or survive something from the past. And we're are like, do you know, some of you, when you're driving from your work to home and you get home and you have no idea how you actually got home, there's a part of our brains that just likes to filter out the present moment and just on autopilot do things. And some part of it is a survival thing, but another part of it is like many of us of our lives are just on autopilot. We're not in control. Our habits are running us. We are not actually living our lives. We're being lived by other people's demands, by our past, and by habits in these toxic cycles.
And like a running script. So another great example of that is every day, if your kids come home, you go, "Hi, honey, how was school?" The same old thing. And do you think your kids are going to be like, "You know what? We learned all these extraordinary things, Mom and Dad, and da-da-da." And then, like, do you think they're going to really dive in and give you a heartfelt answer if you keep saying the same thing every time? Same, like, every time your mom rings or your dad rings, like, "How's the weather? What's going on over there?"
Yeah,
like,
they're the automatic recurring dialogue of our lives. Like, "How are you?" "Fine." "Good." "How are you?" "Fine." And it's like, it's a monotonous thing. So how are you going to have joy and spunk and fire in your life when you're not even actually living your lives? And one of the really cool things that helps is having a meditation or breathing practice, something in the morning where you actually take time, or in a workout or yoga or rebound, something that you take time for you, so that you're actually living your life. Because if you just wake up and you check your WhatsApp and your emails, you're immediately into other people's demands, and you're not living your life. You're into that other part of your brain that's like, "Oh, I've got to make sure I'm enough to keep my job, or enough to stay whatever interesting on social media, or I've got to make sure that people watch Fox News or CNN, and it's fear porn, right? So they're like, that part of your brain that's like gets lit up by dopamine and serotonin when it sees fear, with the reports of fear on mainstream news.
And then it gives you a great excuse as why you can't live your life, why you can't do the thing, or what's the point? It's all like, we're all going to hell anyway. It's all blowing up. The world is devastating.
Yeah.
Now, just on that really quickly, side note, if you lived back in the 1800s, like, that was brutal. And to, like, talk about pandemics, murder, like all sorts of really intense, gnarly things. We think that the world is getting worse, but it's actually improving in many, many ways.
In many metrics, it is.
It's just that we're more aware of all of the horrors because of media. So it's
constantly.
You need to, like, take breaks from things that actually toxify and look and get us out of fight or flight. Now, we should be back in the day, the real back day, if you're running from a lion, you are in survival fight or flight mode, right? And so that is a very essential thing that we have. But with the demands of present day and the way we are attached to our phones and news and media and plugged in all the time, that is creating a fight or flight mode in our body that we're not able to disconnect from. That is why having some kind of disruption to that, disconnecting from that, not turning on all of that stuff until at least a certain part of the day, so you have time in the morning to really prime yourself and create how you're going to be that day. Because the only thing we can control in this world is how we react to whatever happens to us. That's it. Every other facet of control that you think you have is an illusion. Same as the illusion of January 1st is the time to, like, start anew. And so what we want to do is to offer a way to disrupt that. And what that looks like is creating, like, being part of a community or creating structures to fulfill on something new, moving away from, and the first thing to do is recognize your toxic cycle, right? So if it's really simple, like, oh, I smoke or I overeat or I do this, then great. Just recognize it. Yeah. And then you want to recognize when you do it and go, oh, what triggered me to need to pull out that cigarette or to grab for the bunch of chips or to grab for, actually get curious of what just happened that triggered me into doing this. So you want to start being a Cluedo of your life, to start playing Cluedo, being a Cluedo, playing a detective, should I say. Playing detective in your life of, what are my natural triggers that has me reach for things that are toxic.
Right.
So awareness is the number one thing, and then going backwards to look at what the trigger was to create that. And then you want to disrupt it somehow with something that is empowering. So that's sometimes the trickier part, is like, how do we do that? How do I stay true to it? How do I stay connected? And that's why we have groups where you can hold each other accountable. So you need to enroll your family, enroll people around you to be like, I tend to, when everyone comes in and leaves a huge mess and doesn't help me, what I do is, while I'm cleaning it up, I grab for the chips because I feel stressed out or I feel hopeless. So what would it look like if you guys helped, or if you guys didn't do that, or so you have to involve your family, and sometimes that requires interesting conversations. Because they're not used to you owning your space and creating your life with your words. So you want to, so that's another method.
Well, Kate and I have designed programs that actually help people to not just unplug from the automatic recurring dialogue, but to really create and design a life that they love. And you replace some of those toxic cycles with empowering habits. Like I saw Ruth has a yoga practice every day. Some people have a priming practice every day. I saw that. And Flower Girl up here asked how we got into this. We haven't really introduced ourselves. So she said, how did you get plugged into this kind of way of thinking? So Kate, going way back, Kate spent time with Bruce Lipton, who
20 years ago
wrote this book called The Biology of Belief. So her and I have both been on this sort of path of, discovering. It's a bit of
psychology, it's self-discovery, it's self-improvement.
The way I look at it, though, is unplugging yourself from the matrix. So you can go through life as an automatron, or you can sort of wake up. Go ahead.
Blue pill?
Yeah, I don't know if it's red. I think it's red. But I think the red pill wakes you up. But anyways, I don't know. But here's the thing along the journey. So I've been introduced to some amazing teachers, Tony Robbins, David Data. One of my teachers lived with me, and Kate is certified. She has her master's in NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming, and she also is a Tony Robbins trained strategic intervention coach, plus just a lifetime of Kate had a very big traumatic accident that actually turned on her psychic sort of power, if you want to call it that.
I would call it a sixth sense. I got a really.
She got smashed by a drunk driver.
So I had a really horrific accident, and I had brain injury and all of that sort of stuff, and what happened was, after that, it was almost like I touched the other side and was told, no, it's not your time. And from there, I've had this extra ability to see a lot more. It's like a higher perception. It's an ability to see a lot more. And
especially when I'm doing things wrong. She sees that like...
That's not
That's
true.
razor sharp. No. Kate's very easy to live with. A little fiery at times.
Yes, I'm a fire sign. So that accident really launched me onto, I was already in it, but that really launched it on a deeper level, and it's continued. My path kept showing me that this is it. And when we created Freedom Alchemist 5 years ago, it was because there was a lot of division happening, and there still is. We're still in a place of a lot of division, but I really noticed that so many people were suffering, and they didn't have tools in order to move through these really hard situations. And so what people grab for is blame and anger. And so it's like, how do I help people navigate these stormy waters, get into their homes and navigate these really intense moments? And that's how this company was created, and that's what we do. We do everything online, so you can be anywhere in the world. We have people all over the world joining us, and we do it. You do it from your lounge room, from your home. We can help you with all these tools, and you're part of an extraordinary community of just exquisite people standing, cheering for your greatness. And in that community, we've had so many people, lose over 100 pounds.
People release weight because they sort of let go of some of the things in their past that they're dragging around, their stories and some of their bitterness and judgment. I have heard this beautiful thing the other day from Erwin McManus that said, if you have resentment and bitterness in your life, it tells you that you're fighting a battle from your past. And you might be in the ring fighting and you're by yourself, but you think you're fighting somebody else. So it's just
that's the main thing, in the ring fighting something by yourself.
Not
and
even
it's
there.
taking up all your energy.
It's in the past. It's gone.
And the other person's not even there.
Yeah. Bitterness and resentment is just a really great way to go. Oh, I am fighting an enemy from the past. And so along the journey, I'm also had a lifetime of fitness. I used to do men's health and men's journal, men's fitness covers. And then my dad, so I've always been really, really connected to health and nutrition and fitness. And my dad got really sick from ALS and passed away 9 years ago. And there was about a 10-year journey in there of looking at understanding neurological toxicity, heavy metals, and longevity, and that whole realm of everything to try to keep my dad alive. I kind of became incredibly obsessed with that world, and then I'm getting my degree at the Institute of Integrative Nutrition as a functional medicine coach right currently. So that's kind of who we are, and who we are for everybody here is that we are lifestyle architects, and we are a stand that people design and create a life that they love at a very affordable price. We wanted to have at least a couple products that are very simple and accessible for everybody. And you can go to Freedom-Alchemist if you want to join us. There's a new course coming in November. We have
November 6th. We have it's our final Best You Breakthrough for the year. It's actually the final one that'll be in this format where you get much more accessibility to us. So it's one to be a part of. And what we want to really focus on disrupting this old pattern, and so that you can really bring the new year in and with so much power, feeling really good in your body, so that you can, blow the lid off 2023 and have it go the way you say so, because you've done the prep work before. And then we do utilize, there is a common agreement that you can turn a new leaf and start a new page on January 1st. We do use that. We want to hone into that agreement and that power, but you want to have that power just ready to rocket launch on January 1st. You don't want to be trying to worm into it and then you've lost all of that flow that's happening.
Right.
So that's why we're really wanting to, if you want to make next year explosive, then join us so that you can have all the prep work done, feel really good in your body, and really good with your relationships.
Right.
Because we have 3 key areas. I handle the mind, so we go through sabotages, traumas, moving through things like that. Paul and really creating the vision for your life. Paul handles all the body
and
stuff.
And sabotages. You deal with, why do people sabotage and have an upper limit problem of how good they're willing to have it. Kate's really good at helping people kind of figure that out. And then once that's no longer a blind spot, then how do you create something, and how do you raise the thermostat of your life of how good you're willing to have it, which is, there's so much freedom and power in what I just said. You have a thermostat thermostat of how good you're allowing yourself to have life. And what if you could raise that thermostat to allow more love, more finance, more health, more abundance, more laughter into your life? And you do have the ability. It's
and everyone has it. No matter what. And if you're dealing with depression and anxiety, there are reasons, there is so many ways in which you can combat that. Some people, it's just like, oh, you're just sad, or it's just a brain chemistry thing. No, it's not. There's so many other factors, and we educate people on those sorts of factors.
There's a lot of reasons why your brain chemistry would be off, from leaky guts and from
all sorts
toxins.
Of,
and I just saw 4 people in the comments here who have ALS, or brother just died from ALS, and husband. And so neurological, whether it's Alzheimer's, MS, ALS, these neurological degenerative disorders, as well as some of the ones that are caused from inflammation, it's on the rise, as is cancer and
dementia.
So Kate and I,
and it's no excuse. Sorry, one sec. There's no. It's not a coincidence that suddenly all of these things are becoming more and more prolific. Like everybody knows someone now that has ALS or dementia or early onset, and they're like, or cancer, and everyone's like, oh, crazy. No, it's not crazy. It's our lifestyles. So how to navigate that and being preventative instead of reactive, that's what we're about. That's what we're here to teach people. And we've gotten people completely off of the medications, well, safely with doctors, but we teach them how to teach their doctors. Doctors are amazed. They're like, what are you doing? So that releasing weight, getting empowered, like being able to public speak, all sorts of things, that all comes with it. But the 3 topics are mind. I do mind. Paul does body, and he's extraordinary. He's been a human guinea pig for just like, I don't know, 25, 30 years. So he knows so many extraordinary things. He started young. And then together we do communication and connection to self and others. So it's an amazing 6 weeks that's packed in with so many good, yummy tools that you will use for the rest of your life. And then you get 2 weeks for free of the Freedom Portal, which is our membership program.
That's right.
And then that's being a part of our bigger community, where you can where we coach on a new pillar every month, and then there's an advanced program too with that. So you can be a part of that right after, and you can choose to continue or not. So that's that, but that will take you all the way to January 1st, which is like, you'll be juiced up. So, and you can go wherever you want to go from there, ready to go, ready to start the year with power. I cut you off.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you remember?
But you actually said exactly what I was going to say, which is
we're very mentally.
Kate gets so excited that she actually can't help herself. Like I'll be on a thread, and I've learned to just let her. Sometimes he'll never come back.
He used to get upset about it, but now he's like,
Yeah. One of the most exciting things that Kate and I help people is to give them tools to become curious about their health and their well-being, and in their relationships, but also their mental health and also their physical health. So that, yes, things like cancer and some of these monsters that are out there, and you don't have to be afraid. You can actually be an architect of your health and your well-being and your relationships too. And then actually, once you get a little bit of knowledge, then you can know how to become curious and ask your doctor for some more direction. And if he's gonna, and often what you really need to do is find a naturopath or an integrative doctor, or a functional medical doctor, so that you're getting
teach you how to speak to your doctor.
A holistic approach.
Too. Yeah. How to ask the right questions.
Lisa's like, it's an Aussie thing, and you're doing it again.
Well, get excited.
I know, you get excited. Yeah.
But yeah, so like being able to speak, because people think doctors are gods and you can't question them. You absolutely can question them. They actually enjoy it a lot of the time, unless they're a narcissist or really egocentric. And then you should get a different doctor. Yeah. Because no one cares about your health more than you do. Your doctor definitely doesn't.
Right.
You have to take your health into your consideration and your care.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, so here's your opportunity. Go to freedom-alchemist.com and you can join the next the Best You Breakthrough, which is coming up in November.
Yeah, you'll see it there, and you'll get, there's so much information on there. You'll be able to read up about it and understand it even further.
And it's right around $100, right? Is it $125?
Yeah, $125. Yeah. And then if anyone joins today, you're going to get the lesson 1, which is like a really juicy, important one that takes a little bit to dive into. So you're going to get that. We're going to give you that to you this week, so you can already get a head start on that.
That's right.
You'll be a part of the Facebook group, and we're also going to give you some meditations for people that are like, yes, I want to start the new year fresh. I want to go for it. So jump right in. Don't hesitate.
That's
because when you commit to something new that's disrupting the pattern, the world starts opening up in new ways. So you'll start noticing that, like, oh, because I'm committing to my body, my health, myself in this way, this opportunity came up, and this opportunity, and so it's like we get rewarded when we start disrupting the matrix, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah. So if you want life to be exactly how it's been for you in the past, don't do anything. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
But if you're ready for something a little different, and you want to be an architect of your life and actually create a life that you love, then just go have a peek and look at some of the testimonials, because we've had thousands of people go through. And like I said, one of the main things, people release weight just because they start loving themselves a bit, treating themselves a little bit better, and they get these tools of how to stop just plowing garbage into their face, and move their bodies and prioritize sleep and get good hydration. And we have just amazing tools for you to implement these things and actually take action.
Yeah. And I want everyone to know that even though weight loss is one of the biggest things that happens with our program, we're not a weight loss program. We're actually enjoy your life and suck all the juice out of it type people. We love eating delicious, yummy food. So it's not about calorie restricting. It's not about any of that. Often when we release trauma, or we start noticing what's in our way, our body can release weight, because it's stored in fat. Trauma stores in fat cells in the body to protect us. So there's just so many beautiful ways. Even a good breath practice will start releasing weight. So knowing these tools that will help you navigate through depression, through anxiety, through getting off medications, through talking to your doctor, through communicating with your husband, your children, whatever it is, through that, knowing all these other tools, as a side effect of that, people release weight.
That's right. And we'll leave you with this. You are going to be on this planet for another, let's say 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years,
Let's do all the years. Let's
just round it up to the next 65 years. Let's just say that. with advancement in science. Now, if you implement some of these tools today, consistency, in a year, you will be unrecognizable to yourself.
Completely.
And if you look at that one little year against the 65, because especially if you prioritize your health, you will have that much longer of a journey. You start to take little baby steps and consistency in this one little chunk, and you'll, like, day by day, week by week, month by month, and a year from now, you could be unrecognizable, not just in your body, but in your finances, in your confidence, in your relationships, in the way that you talk about yourself to yourself in your head. And so imagine, just in you dig in and you get some tools, and a year from now, the rest of your life, you're going to end up on a whole different galaxy of enjoyment. So that's what we are passionate about.
A whole other galaxy of enjoyment.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes, put me on that galaxy.
Put me on
right?
that ship. Anne Harakisan said the program saved her marriage. That's right, Anne.
Yeah.
Well, you did, and you put to work the tools. That's for sure.
Yeah. Totally.
You did some of the communication work.
Anne's one of our people that's been with us since day one, 5 years ago.
That's right.
Yeah. And the transformation over those periods. So here's the thing, guys. Everyone thinks they can take a pill and suddenly, I'll take diet pills. And it's like, no, what are the side effects of all of that? So there's little tiny choices of consistency over and over again is what gets you there.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And it's not some huge thing. It's like sometimes we can do a huge leap, but it's these little things, and it's being in a community that is supporting you to make those choices easily, so that it's just an ease. We're lifestyle architects. We're here for ease.
Yeah.
And it's community that creates that ease.
That's right. And it has to be fun or forget about it.
Yeah, we are fun people.
You got to find a way to make this journey fun, or else you'll just go do something that's like easy and fun. So you got to find a way to, as you prioritize getting energy in your body, which I think is the goal of health and wellness, at least from my perspective, is how do you have energy in your body?
Yeah.
And when you do have energy in your body, then you're actually able to, serve others in a really powerful way and give your gift of why you're actually here. So this is just what Kate and I are if you can tell, we're super excited about it and passionate about it. So if today is the 26th of October 2022. So Kate, you said that if they join today, they can get that thing. So I'm just aware that this is going to go out into other times, into other portals. So all right, we love you guys. Take some action, and we hope that we can serve you in some way.
Yeah, we would love to know you and your dreams, and be cheerleaders for them.
Yeah, and be another one of our success stories.
Yeah, come and be one of our success stories.
That's right.
That's what we want.
All right. So the link is in my bio, and your bio too on Facebook, Instagram, right? Should be.
Yes, if you just click on
the link in our bios.
link in
and
bios.
then you guys here on YouTube and Facebook, wherever you're watching from, or Twitch or Twitter, you can go to paulgreen.com, which is easy. My name, Paul Green, or freedom-alchemist.com, and you can choose
you can
your
see
adventure.
all the things on there.
Bye, everybody.
All right. Mwah. Have a beautiful night, day, wherever you are.